Airplanes, with the exception of the poor man's scout plane, are assembled from different parts: a fuselage, engine parts, and several mechanical parts. Those engine and mechanical parts need to be attached to the fuselage through the use of a small gauge train or by using trucks with trailers. Each of these parts can get damaged and taken out individually and need repairing or replacing. Both factions have their own plane parts, which are not interchangeable. And there is a separation between large parts and engines, for instance bombers, and small engines and parts, for instance the fighter planes. Refueling of the plane is done the same way as with other vehicles. You can do it by hand with cans, or use the refuel button when a fuel truck or fuel container is nearby. To fly a plane, once again with the exception of the poor man's scout plane, you will need to equip a pilot's uniform. These are not cheap to make. As with any other vehicle, press Q to hop into the pilot seat. While in the pilot seat, your UI suddenly got a lot buzzier. In the top right, you will find the indicator for your landing gear. Under the compass, you will find the vertical speed indicator, VSI, and your heading, or azimuth. Below that, a quick breakdown of the flight controls. The flight control panel can be turned off and on in the options menu under the General tab. A full list of flight controls can be found, and changed, in the keyboard tab under Flight Controls. Then, in the bottom left, you will find indicator dials. The altitude dial, where the altitude dial will show the altitude above sea level and altitude above the surface you are currently flying over separately. The speed dial and the throttle dial. To take off, taxi to the runway. Scroll down for a negative throttle and hold down the spacebar to back up your plane. And use the A and D keys to steer. To taxi forwards, scroll up to a low throttle value. Once again, use A and D to steer. When on the runway, open the throttle full by scrolling up, and with a high enough speed, if you press S to pitch up, your plane will start to lift off. When you are in the air, press F to retract your landing gear. This will make the landing gear icon blink and then change to the up position. This will also remove the throttle dial and add the target speed in the speed dial. To bank or roll the plane, use the A and D keys. Use the left arrow and right arrow to use the rudder for more subtle course corrections. You can change the pitch of your plane by pressing S to pitch up or ascend, or W to pitch down or descend. Your vertical speed indicator in the top right will show you if you are ascending or descending, as will your altimeter. Holding the right mouse button will aim your gun and plane. Pressing left mouse button while doing so will fire your gun. Holding shift while aiming your gun will pitch and dive your plane towards the target. Pressing left mouse button while doing so will fire your gun. To land your plane, descend to around 30 meters and press F to extend your landing gear. Line your plane up with the landing strip and start to throttle down so you are going at a low speed. You can now either use W to pitch down towards the landing strip, or hold the right mouse button and hold down the shift key to pitch down. When you hit the landing strip, make sure you throttle down to 0% and use the spacebar as an extra brake if necessary. The poor man's scout plane is built with armats in the little airfield hangar. It can be entered with any uniform, but you cannot carry anything else. It has two seats, the pilot seat and co-pilot seat, where the co-pilot can release the mines or torpedoes. Both scout planes can land and take off from water. Since planes, again with the exception of the poor man's scout plane, consists of multiple parts, these individual parts can be damaged and shot out. When engaging a large plane, for instance, make sure you are at the same altitude or higher before you engage. Then, try to match your speed to theirs so you can keep sustained fire, and then aim at one of the important parts of the plane, the engine or tail for instance. Then keep sustained fire on that part until it is taken out. If you take an engine out, for instance, it will slow down the plane. And if you take out both, it will most likely crash or be forced to make an emergency landing.